Is my water bottle in frame? Can't have that. Can't have that. Good morning, Slop Nation, and welcome to Slop Chop. This is a new podcast hosted by myself, Harvey Mulvihill. It's about the happenings of the internet, and it is your one-stop shop for slop. Sloppers. Today, as you're hearing this, right meow. This is the last recording I'm doing before jaw surgery. I'm getting jaw surgery tomorrow at the time of recording this. When you hear this, I'll be like 2 days recovered, 2 days after. I decided to get jaw surgery instead of going to the Met Gala. All my listeners are people of culture. You know, I know that to be true. I look at the analytics, and 100% of you guys are fine wine drinking, snobby aristocrats. And that's why you listen to this quality podcast. You demand the best with the media that you consume, the clothes that you put on, and so I know you will all be at the Met Gala. I will unfortunately have to skip this year due to the conflict with my jaw surgery. But you best believe I will be coming back in 1 year's time. Next year, when this happens, when this godforsaken ceremony takes place again, I will be there with my new face, representing the Slop Nation. What will I be wearing? Glad you asked. It's a tasteful representation of a trash bag, like a big. It is a black hefty trash bag from Target, but it's a statement, right? And it's not, it is, yes, it's a trash bag with tape holes to have my limbs through, and then tape around the holes so as to hide any revealing parts of myself. I'm a little bit still self-conscious. A lot of some other people of my ilk that are going to Met Gala are down to show a little bit more skin than I am, but I'll be wearing 2 taped together trash bags representing the Slop Nation. It will be the talk of the town. We'll be making headlines. Harvey from Slop Chop at Met Gala, making his Met Gala debut with the outfit and the new face. I'm going to look straight up like clavicular, bro, with this after this surgery. It is weird, dude. I fucking my nurse, the nurse practitioner woman, the woman that meets you before the doctor. It's probably nurse, right? I just feel bad calling her a nurse because she's a lady. It's like, what if she's a doctor too? And then I'm just assuming she's a nurse because she's a woman. It is kind of funny. I guarantee that every female doctor goes through that with like older patients, especially. Oh, God forbid they have a male nurse and a female doctor. Whoo! For sure. Fucking grandpa's. Let me talk to the doctor who was just in here. No. I'm the first doctor that's seen you, sir. you were just being taken care of by the flamboyant male nurse. Is every male nurse gay? No. Is 75% of them? Yes. They have almost the highest percentage of gay men. If you're a man, it means that you're gay. The other 2 big ones that jump out to me are flight attendant and professional figure skater. If you are any of those 3 professions and you are a dude, the percentage chance that you're gay is like really high. Really, really high. Percentage chance that you're gay if you go to Met Gala. Again, pretty high. Not quite flight attendant or male nurse percentage, but up there. It's also not just gays that go to Met Gala. You also have I'm sure ASAP Rocky goes to Met Gala, or Jeff Bezos, or like fucking Zuckerberg probably goes, just because of the prestige. It's got to be one of the most prestigious rooms in all of show business. Met Gala. It's like there's like A-list talent that doesn't get invited because they're having an off year. Fucking Lil Nas X was invited the last several years. I guarantee that motherfucker is not getting an invitation because he fell off. He had some crazy fits. He had the multi-layered fits where, on the red carpet, it's like a giant dress, and then well, excuse me, on the first of the 4 red carpets, because that's literally what this event is. It's about the fit. So you cannot just show up in your fucking your H&M rented ass suit. You got to do some crazy shit. You got to dress fucking crazy if you want to like make an impression, because everyone is dressed super nice. And you better have like a good answer when they ask you who you're wearing. Who are you wearing is such a fucking wild question. The fashion world is really something, isn't it? I think it's cool. Some of it, I think it's cool. I think if I would feel more strongly about it if I could pull any of it off. You know what I mean? If I had the gusto, it's confidence and gusto. If I had either of those 2 components, and money, don't forget money. It's actually mostly money, bro. I feel like I could fuck around and put together a decent looking outfit. I can do that, but I'm restrained by my income level. Dude, freaking today. Funny you should mention that. Funny you should mention that. I fucking today went to an art festival near my home. The bleep out fucking, you know the one if you know me, festival near where I live. I've been going there pretty much my whole life, actually. Not annually, but it's an annual festival that I frequented when I was young, and it was interesting today to see parents walking around with their kiddos, because I was like, oh yeah, I remember being a kid at this fucking thing, getting dragged to this. I actually think I had fun back in the day. This is all beside the point. The point is this, Slops. The point is, I never, ever feel poorer than when I am walking around an arts festival. It's the poorest I ever feel, because there's so much cool shit there. There's so much interesting, cool shit that I would fill my house with, bro. I would fill my fucking house with all this stuff. You have incredible pieces of work, amazing artwork, and those puppies start, like, for a decent size original, those puppies start at like $3,000, and I just do not have the capital. I don't have enough. I'm making a decent amount of money, but I do not have spend $5,500 on one piece of art cash flow at the moment. And it's sad, dude, because it's simply, that's the other interesting thing about an arts festival. These artists are making money, but dude, the event itself, it's like it's window shop maxing. You're there to window shop. There are no windows to be had. Like it's all it's all open to the elements, but the expression remains the same. You're window shopping, bro. Most people there are not buying shit, or they're gonna be in my crowd, which is like wow, this is really cool. I'll settle for a print. I'm a big settle for a print type of guy. You know what I mean? I will buy a $50 print of a thing because it looks really cool, and if I put a frame on that puppy, I'm most of the way there. I would say you're more than half of the way there. Between no art and having the original giant version on your wall. I legitimately think that you're more than half of the way there with a print. And the print costs 1/20th. Just kidding. It's more like a 50th. A fraction of the fucking price. Because they just printed off. They went to Kinko's and printed off 500 of them on some thick paper. And more power to them, dude. I was, you also, I've been at festivals such as this one where I've had artists, I was like, oh fuck, I love this dude. I'm so cool, like very, very impressive. I love it. He's like, I was like, I just wanted to say, good work, keep it up. I can't afford it, but this is sick. Which maybe they hate that. Do you think they hate that? Should I have said nothing? Instead of saying a thing, instead of complimenting them and not buying it, should I just have kept walking? Perhaps. Perhaps could have just shut the fuck up and continued with my life. But decided not to. Decided to stop, talk to the guy, have a human interaction, create dopamine in my brain, create hopefully dopamine in his brain, or hatred. Which is also something, you know? Even if you're creating a negative emotion in someone's brain, it's still a human emotion, which is nice to have. Anyway, I was talking to this fucking guy, and I was like, hey, bro, I just wanted to say, you're doing great work. I cannot afford this. This costs $6,400, but I'm very impressed. And he was like, well, make me an offer. I was like, brother, I'm not even going to stoop to that. I will insult you with my number. My number is an affront to you. And also it makes me, if I told you an actual number that I would be willing to pay, you would think that I don't respect you and think that your work is valueless. But that's not the case at all. It's just that I'm a poor piece of shit, right? I respect the fuck out of you and your work. I just can't afford it. So I didn't even give him a number. Guess what I did? I settled on a print. I settled on a motherfucking print, and that was on my wall for the longest. I don't know where it went. It's gone now. I threw it away. It's only a print. Throw it away, bro. It's a print. From that same function, I got a Kirby rug. It's like those. It's a fucking rug that's Kirby. If I can find a photo, I'll put it in the episode. I really should not be giving myself work to do in the edit, because I'm shooting and editing this on the same day, and having to do, oh fuck, who gives a shit? Okay, fuck you, I'll tell you then. Just had a whole, back and forth in my own brain just now, because I think I go inside baseball podcast stuff too much, which is less interesting perhaps to listen to, but I'm hurting for material a little bit, so I'm going to be soaking up every thought that comes across my brain. I will be speaking into this microphone, and you better get mother freaking on board with it, sloppers, because that's the vibe this week, and honestly probably next week. During this jaw surgery period, bruh, I am not too concerned about quality. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm gonna be totally keeping it 100% a buck with you right now, slops. The quality may dip a touch, while I undergo this major medical procedure. But that is the vibe, bro. As long as the pod comes out every week on Wednesday morning, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about the quality for the next month. And dude, it's honestly probably not going to take that long to recover. I'm taking 5 weeks off work, but I'm betting like after 2 weeks, hopefully I'll be able to come up here and do the pod like normal. But I don't know. Yes, I'll see you guys at the Met Gala. I'm looking forward to it. It's on May 4th. Like, I wonder if, do you think they're gonna have anyone do a May the 4th be with you thing? Either an outfit or just a joke, an offhand comment at one of the red carpets. Hey, I'm wearing the $70,000 suit. May the 4th be with you. I think Star Wars is just so out of fashion at this point that no one would be caught dead saying that shit. It's over, bro. Star Wars is fucking over. With that said, I literally this morning put a bid on eBay for a signed Andor poster from Tony Gilroy. Which, by the way, I don't know how you guys feel about this. It's one seller on eBay with, I would say, 8 Andor posters. They're like different posters, and they're all allegedly signed by members of the cast and crew, but prominent ones. There's like 2 signed by Stellan Skarsgård, 2 by Tony Gilroy, 1 by Diego Luna. And they're all different posters, and they all have, what's weird though is like they're pretty much all the same exact price. Like not exact the price, but pretty similar price. And they all have like the same title structure. My point is this a fucking scam? They have great user reviews. They've got like 2,000 fucking items currently listed on eBay, like waiting to be sold. But it seems like, I mean, is that their whole thing where they just go to Comic Cons and have the people sign a bunch of shit and then resell it? I'd be fine with that. It'd just be cool to know that the signature is authentic. On that point, though, if I think it's authentic and I don't think about it too hard, then it just is authentic. You know what I mean? It's my fucking poster. It's on my wall. I think it's real. Therefore, it's real. It doesn't matter. You know? I just you just need to trick me, my brain. But I'm the one doubting your authenticity, Mr. Andor Poster Man. So I'm in a fucking conundrum, dude. I'm like, am I willing to spend, I think it's like $200. Am I willing to spend $200 on this poster? It's a print. It is a print for sure. It's not the original. I settled for a print, but it's signed by Tony Gilroy, dude. It's signed by the fucking goat himself. Yeah, I mean, it would just fit so well in my studio. I did have a lot. I'm gonna be totally, completely honest with you. I had quite a bit of embarrassment about picturing a Star Wars poster in my studio. Just the fact that I have a fucking Star Wars poster of any kind brings shame to me. I'm not gonna lie. But I was like, bro, if you ride for Andor like that, just fucking do it for real. And like, if you know, if it's a conversation starter, oh, you're a Star Wars guy? I'm like, nope. No, I'm not. As a matter of fact, I hate most of it. But Andor is one of the best things I've ever seen in my entire life. So I love Andor more than most things. It's probably tied for my favorite show of all time. Favorite television show ever. So it's on the wall. That's why. I hate Star Wars, but I fucking love Andor. That's a conversation starter, bro. I could think of it that way. Oh, and you see that little scribble right there in the silver Sharpie? That's Tony Gilroy. He's the guy that created it. Him and his brothers created it. His brother edited it, and his like other brother wrote most of it, along with this guy Bo Williman. And it's pretty much just the greatest thing ever created by a human, and I love it dearly, and it makes me just grateful to be alive, that I get to experience things of this quality. But you hate Star Wars. Like, that's right. Yes, that is correct. I have no love for the franchise whatsoever. Couldn't give a fuck about it, actually. Force Awakens is pretty fun. That's my entire opinion of Star Wars. But hey, Force Awakens is pretty fun. I fucking dude, you know what's crazy, bruh? You know what's crazy? You know, okay, so on OG Slops will know that I've had this take that I love to say. I had this take that I love to say, which is that every Legacy sequel sucks ass, except for exactly Top Gun Maverick and Blade Runner 2049. I love that take. I think it's funny. It's very reductive, which is fun. It's a big bold swing, and I truly, in my heart of hearts, think that it's mostly, if not completely, accurate. And I said that at work yesterday, and there were murmurings, and then everyone thought about it, and then some fucking dweeb, some nerd, some asshole goes, I gotta say, I like the take is okay, but I really enjoyed Force Awakens. And I was like, fuck, dude. I also love Force Awakens. Does that count? I had this exact debate on the podcast with myself like weeks ago. Like, does Force Awakens count as a legacy sequel? I guess it does, because it fits all the criteria. It's more than 10 years later. It's got the same, whatever, the cast of the OG. It's a handing of the torch, but it's like the start of a fucking trilogy, which muddies the water. It's part of a franchise, which muddies the water. I don't know that I would consider it that. It's less of a surefire 100% quote unquote legacy sequel than the other two. And also, it doesn't make my quote as fun. It fucks up my quote that there's only 2 good ones. You can't say there's only 3 good ones. It's not nearly as eye grabby, attention holding, right? So I think fuck that guy. I can't believe he brought that up. I can't believe he smeared that in my face. How rude. How rude to come up with a completely reasonable third thing that I actually agree with completely. That fucks up my whole argument. Frankly, I can't abide by that. I cannot abide by that, sloppers. So anyway, fuck that guy. I hope he's dead. But he's 100% right. Force Awakens is great. Force Awakens rips. The movie's awesome. J.J. Abrams is a pretty good director. Has he done any other Star Wars projects that I should check out? Oh no. Oh no. Not only has he made another Star Wars project, he made the worst film ever created, the worst movie ever made. It's a pretty impressive title. Also, it does not, I would say even great. I think I am down to say Force Awakens is great. I think it's great, but one great entry and one, I would say, moderately great. Lost is great, pretty great. It ended bad. But like, does anyone remember Super 8? Okay, what about the fucking Star Trek movies? No one gives a shit about those. So he has one truly great project under his belt, a couple of mid, and the worst film ever created by a human being. So like, what do you do with that? The one great film is not nearly enough to pull him out of the abyss of The Rise of Skywalker. Like, it's nowhere close to fucking enough. I think The Rise of Skywalker needs to be amended by with jail time. Jail time? Castration? Maybe? Some sort of torture. What's the thing they did in Guantanamo where they don't let you sleep? They like put you in a totally bright room, and then every time you're like drifting off, they blast death metal in your face at max volume. Just that for a week. 2 weeks. 2 weeks would be, I think, penance for that. Was it his fault? I don't know. Is it fair to torture him? What about the Disney executives who kind of made that happen? Yeah, I put the blame on J.J. Abrams, and I think that it is an unforgivable sin creating that movie. Signing off on that movie, that film. Christ. This probably is like the 4th time that I've talked about The Rise of Skywalker on this podcast, which is in fact Star Wars. And I get the I just said that I hate Star Wars. I guess that I do. But I think the pathway, or the neural pathway, the pipeline is the same every time on this here Slop pod, which is I get to gushing about Andor and how it's the greatest thing ever made, and then I think, oh yeah, Star Wars, and then I go like, what is like my main memory of Star Wars? I remember now. I remember the last time that I was in a theater watching a Star Wars production. I remember that. It is not immemorable. The Rise of Skywalker is not a forgettable picture. I'll give it that. But anyway, fuck Star Wars. Fuck this. Oh man, I gotta give you guys an update on a story from the other week. The faithful peanut is the faithful peanut, the faithful sheriff, excuse me, is back in the news, and I love this guy's fully just a lolcow at this point. He has oh man, it's fucking awesome. He typed out this novel, I mean novel, to post to pin at the top of his Twitter account, and it's clearing up some myths about the man, the faithful sheriff, who, if you don't remember, is everyone, or not everyone, many of us are familiar with the Burnt Peanut. I believe his name is the Burnt Peanut on Twitch. He's killing it on TikTok. Playing Rust is his new game, but it's a peanut. You've seen the peanut guy. And so then this dude, the faithful sheriff, copied the peanut avatar and has a faith-based version. He does like Jesus spouting in Rust and Fortnite. And then he got into this feud with Super Mega, who's a comedy duo. Love those boys. Got into a feud with Super Mega a couple weeks ago, and he did the best thing that you can possibly do when you get into a feud with an online creator. You really, 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 really get super defensive, deny everything, and then like reply to every single person that tweets you with the truth of the truth. Everyone must know the truth, right? And so now he's just like, and he's never like, people in his replies are like, dude, you have to log off. The only way to weather the storm is to get the fuck offline and stop. You just have to ignore it. People, it's the internet works the same way as a grade school bully. They get bored with you if you just ignore them. You have to just ignore them, dude. You cannot, but he's incapable. It's an ego thing. It's an insecurity thing, but he is incapable of ignoring this the barrage of hate. And it's hilarious. So people just lean in. But he posted this again. I mean, it's unironically, I skimmed it, and it took me like 10 minutes to skim. It is comically long, and it's pinned right at the top of his page here. Let's clear up some myths with a big fucking capital myths. Myth number 1: I'm a racist. Are there videos of me saying he spells out the hard ER and the A with just like a couple of stars in the middle, so he's not actually saying it, spelling it again. Are there videos of me saying the N-word? Yes. Did I say them to an individual person, or were they directed at any people? No. Simply typing the word does not make you a racist. I love he just gets so granular. Another instance is widely circulated clip of me saying the N-word. He spells it out. Because it was because I was talking about when someone would be able to say that word if they were a teacher, or talking about the word in a historical sense, about when it was used and how it was used, or reading literature in a book that contains the word. Typing a word out does not make you racist. Simply saying a word does not make anyway. Again, there's probably truth to what he's saying, but this is not how you fucking. All right, and then anyway, so that was a full page, like a full 2 pages of a text on how he's not racist. Myth number 2: I commissioned pornographic art from Super Mega. I did not. and have not and will never commission a pornographic image of my genitalia from Super Mega. They are lying. I never DM'd them asking them to do so. They are lying. I did not send them a cease and desist letter. They are lying. Of course, Super Mega is just leaning so heavy into this. It's the best. They're leaning super heavy into this. Oh yeah, we forgot the best line. Because of the insane scope of harassment I have received because of this lie, I will be taking legal action against Super Mega when I get the funds to do so. I have already talked to a lawyer and received consultation regarding the matter, and have also talked to the police. I have also reported them to the Internet Crimes Division. Yeah, but anyway, there's 9 total myths that he's clearing up, including one that says, myth number 7, I'm a pedo. Good stuff. Shouts out to the faithful sheriff. An absolute hilarious, legitimate lolcow at this point. And I think it's interesting, the life cycle of a lolcow. You start getting a ton of attention, and it's negative attention, but it's still attention. You know what I mean? It's kind of similar to the Tommy Wiseau's of the world who make a big piece of shit, and then the whole world is really, really into their movie, even though they're laughing at it. They think it's bad, but they're still in the theater. They're giving you money, and you're still the center of attention. You know what I mean? So it's not ideal, but it's still something. And I think you just get addicted to any sort of attention. It all comes back to ego, of course. But enough lolcows will have people online or in their corner. No one has no one in their corner. You know what I mean? Everyone has someone, but even if you did have no one, literally no family or friends in real life or online, which again, pretty much everyone does. But even if you didn't, you would have people in your comments going, dude, you have to just ignore it. You the only way out is to ignore. Log off. Make a new Twitter. Burner account if you need the website that bad. But just get the fuck out, bro. Stop engaging with these people. It's the only way to make it go away. So they know the answer. It's not like they're blind to the solution. It's that they're intentionally leaning into it because of the dopamine, the response, the circular response, whatever the fuck it's called. Feedback loop. The feedback loop. I say something, it blows up, lots of attention. Yes, it's negative attention. Yes, they all saying really horrible things to me. Yes, it makes me sad. But they're still talking about me. It's me. I'm the talk of the town. Again, I do think really and truly that everyone that posts themselves online, myself included, has the same disease. And we all just want to fill the hole. And then we're looking for external validation to do it. And there's a level of artistic blah 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 that you can attribute this to, but that's what it comes down to. It's it's retail therapy. So shouts out to the faithful sheriff, man, playing the same game that I am. He's doing it better. He's got more eyeballs than I do, for sure. For sure. He's fucking killing it, dude. The faithful sheriff is killing it. And I really, the unfortunate thing is that it's only his Twitter is the only thing that's blowing up, because you go to his actual videos, they are unwatchable. They're 2-minute long clips from his Twitch, and it's just it's him. It's like mediocre gameplay with mediocre commentary. Him annoying some rando teammate of his, and then him just launching into God stuff. And it's frankly, it's just bad content. Like, it's not even. I am morally opposed to it, but also shit's boring as fuck. Trim it down, bro. A minute 50. Did you need all 2 minutes to tell this story? 4.5 minutes of this Rust clip. 4.5 fucking minutes. Oh my god. So anyway, yeah, it's he's a goober. But he's, he's out here really doing it for real. He's really doing it for real. He's posting consistently, more consistently than I am. And he has the same disease that I do, which is the unmet need for validation, attention. We're the same. The peanut and I, we're the same. He's a different flavor of the same disease. But I have to, in order to remain, his job is social media influencer on Twitter. Oh boy. In order to remain sane, I have to believe that I am bringing more to the table than the faithful sheriff. But I don't know if that's true. I just am going to choose to believe that the faithful sheriff and I are different, in fact. And that what I'm doing is of some sort of value, more so than what the farting god peanut clone lol cow is doing. I have to imagine that I'm better than him, and that his star, his star is shining brightly at this moment, but it will burn out, as all freaks do. Freaks and lol cows, they shine bright, but then they fucking burn off. I remember a great story about from Bobby Lee. Shouts out Bobby Lee. Bobby Lee told a story about, do you guys remember I have to figure out what this guy was. Short guy, no neck reality show. Big Ed from 90 Day Fiance. The dude with no neck. He blew the fuck up when he was on this show because of the way he looks and the way that he acts, but mostly the way that he looks. He's a freak. And so he became a big talking point. Ha ha ha, look at this guy. He's a freak, right? Bobby Lee wanted him on Tiger Belly, his podcast. And he I don't know. I don't remember if he even came on or not. Let's see if he did. I think the story is that he was going to come to the Tiger Belly studio. He was invited by Bobby and Kalila, and he big timed them. He was like, I'm just, I'm crazy busy. I have so many things on my calendar right now. And I mean, to be fair, he was the talk of the town at that moment. His star was shining brightly. He was in right in the middle of his 15 minutes of fame. And he it's so funny to big time a fucking established guy like Bobby Lee. It's very funny. Bobby Lee, who again has actual talent, an actual fan base because they love him and what he actually does. Bobby Lee's fans are not pointing and laughing at Bobby Lee. They are on his side. They love him and they will ride hard for him. Right? Big Ed has no shooters. Big Ed has 0 shooters, bro. He's just a freak. So yeah, it rubbed Bobby the wrong way. They ended up just doing like a Zoom call for the podcast, like a 15-minute, wasn't even a full hour Zoom call. And he was telling the story on some other pod, and he's like, oh yeah, things are good right now. Things are good right now for Big Ed, but and he tapped his wrists like that. Tick tick tick. Like the end is coming. It's coming, dude. It's right. As a matter of fact, it's visible. The end is like approaching rapidly. And you're fucking like you're too cool for schooling me right now? Okay. I'll never forget that. Just tapping his wrist. Shouts out Bobby Lee. Hilarious. And guess what? That was 5 years ago. And wouldn't you know it, he was 100% right. Bobby Lee, incredibly successful. He's got his finally first crazy. He's just now doing a fucking comedy special. I mean, it's almost like it's the fact that he didn't have a special for so long is, it's more just a novelty, like, at this point, you know? He's an absolute OG LA comedian. One of the guys where if he is announced, if he shows up as a surprise guest, the place shakes. Like it's like a fucking earthquake. It's like people love this man. They love this man. I was lucky enough to walk around Dallas with him when he was in Dallas he was doing Dr. Phil live. We got to go backstage. It was very fucking cool. But that was the first time I ever walked around with a famous guy, legit famous dude, who we were just walking around Dallas and people were fucking jumping out of their cars on the street. Bobby! No shit, fucking Bobby. He's legit, real deal famous, where he cannot walk down the street with people not like attacking him. It was crazy. Fucking crazy. But yeah, dude, people love that guy, myself included. He's awesome. Never not funny. Great podcaster. And elusive, which makes him interesting. He's not always in your feed. He does the 2 podcasts a week. And he does like the occasional movie. But he's elusive, that guy. He's not really just out there like many others are. And he's struggled with depression and substance abuse, and yeah, he's fucking awesome. Shouts out to mother freaking Bobby Lee. I used to listen to Bad Friends every week. I don't know why I stopped. I have other things going on, I guess. Also, the cast of characters has gotten too long. I don't know. I can't keep up with these fucking people. Speaking of which, Andrew Santino saw him in Dallas at the Addison Improv. To this day, that is the best stand-up show I've ever been to. If you have the opportunity, do go see Andrew Santino. He's unfucking believable. Maybe it was a great night. I don't know. But it was electric. Electric in that room. Went to go see Raanan Hershberg a couple weeks ago. He was great. He is great. He's not popping yet. I love Raanan, but most people do not know who the fuck he is. And like there was probably 12 of us in that room to watch Raanan headline. And the first thing out of his mouth, first of all, the opener, which was crazy. He came out, this guy was like, he's like wacky looking. He looked like a Matrix character. Like a guy that you'd see dancing in Matrix Reloaded. You know, that big dance orgy thing? He had like he was completely head to toe tatted. He had like the sides of his head shaved, and he had a fucking rat tail all the way down to his ass. But like his whole head was tatted too. He was pretty good, pretty funny, but like crazy distracting physical appearance. And he brought us cookies, bro. He comes out with a fucking plate of cookies, and he's like, all right, well, here you go. There's no nuts in them. Take one and pass it if you want a cookie. So that's cool. That's sweet. Good way to endear an audience to your side, I suppose. I wonder if that was his shtick, like his thing that he does, or if that was truly a one-time deal. He said his mom made cookies, and here they are. Does he do that every time, every show? I can't. It's just crazy. But it was very sweet, memorable guy. Oh, memorable to the point where I hadn't thought of him since until now. Now that I'm talking about the show, but fuck it, whatever. He was memorable, I guess, because I'm thinking about him. Couldn't tell you a single goddamn thing about the host. So, no tattoos, no cookies. That's what I remember. Just a normal, generic man. I'm much more interested in tattoos and cookies, bruh. So anyway, Raanan, the first thing out of his mouth is like, I didn't know you were supposed to bring fucking baked goods. Jesus Christ. Talk about like one-upping the headliner. I can't compete with that shit. Which is funny. And the second thing he said was, thank you guys for coming out. Plain-O Chuckle Fucks. We sold it out. which is great. Sold it out. Just make sure not to look to your left or your right or behind you. Just look straight ahead. Shouts out to mother freaking Raanan Hershberg. If I had I've listened to that podcast. Joe and Raanan Talk Movies is probably my favorite podcast ever. If I had to, I don't know. It's hard to say. They stopped doing it. And also, it was really only. It's so funny. Like they were totally. They're like the worst. It was a Zoom podcast. They started it during COVID, and they like Raanan had never done a pod before, so like his mic sucked, and then every week his setup would improve. Like he would get a bunch of negative comments from people like, bro, you got it, your mic sucks ass. He'd be like, all right, fuck, okay, all right, I'll spend some money on a better one. And so anyway, his setup would improve week over week, but he's so goddamn funny, he's so fucking endearing, and his movie takes are so based that none of it matters. As a matter of fact, it's kind of, the whole thing's just kind of cute and sweet. The fact that they're so bad, and that Joe just makes fun of him constantly for being like a contrarian asshole and also bad at like he's not bad at podcasting. Please, he's like excellent. Both of them are excellent podcasters, but bad at like the technical side of things. And it's just the best. I fucking it is my comfort food. My buddy Landon, shouts out to Landon, says that his comfort podcast is Donkey's Pod, which I think they only did like 6 or 8 episodes, something like that. Donkey and his friends. Mine is Joe and Raanan for sure. But yeah, they were like the worst. They would skip weeks constantly. They would just forget to do it, or not. One of them wouldn't watch the movie and they'd have to bump it. They would just come out randomly. Just it'd come out on a Thursday, and then 3 weeks later, 2 would come out in the same week, like a Tuesday and a Wednesday. It was just complete. It was utter nonsense. But every single time, like I had my notifications on for Joe List's YouTube channel, and I would get so excited. And I was on the Patreon. I love all their Patreon stuff too. They had a great episode about the Will Smith Chris Rock slap on Patreon. That was fucking awesome. I just love that pod, and it was inspiring truly to like myself to. I was like, oh, you don't need all the technical stuff to be good. You just have to be funny, and they are hilarious, and they have incredible takes. Such like, just it kind of honestly, dude. I struggled with it a long time, just parroting what they said and just making that my opinion. You know what I mean? That podcast became my personality, because it was like a wealth of, like, I swear to God, every take that they had on a movie was just like so nuanced and interesting and correct and hilarious. And it was just hard for me not to just suck it into my brain, to the point where I was like, just again parroting what they said. And that was also quite, I don't know, kind of around the same time I started doing their Too Many Movies, or they invited me onto their pod. And I had to like fight the urge to not just, again, Polly cracker their shit. Anyway, all this is to say, do yourself a favor, check out Joe and Raanan Talk Movies. Started episode 1. They're awesome. They're the best. I have a Tuesdays with Stories poster signed by Mark and Joe List, but I would love a Joe and Raanan poster signed by them. I was thinking about bringing it to the show and asking him to sign it, but I was like, I don't have a Joe and Raanan poster. I would have to go print one off again at fucking Kinko's, and yeah, it's just too much trouble. Shouts out to Joe and Raanan. Love those boys. God, it'd be so fucking cool to have Raanan on. That is like an achievable guest, you know, where I would think it's fucking sick. Because I'm a huge fan, but he hasn't blown up yet. He's been doing comedy for fucking 15 years. He is a legit, excellent comedian. You should check out Live from the Underground on YouTube if you want to watch his stand-up. He's great. Raanan Hershberg, Raanan Hershberg. What was I gonna say? But yeah, it's an achievable guest, brother. I was like, I keep grinding on this pod for a few more months, or a year, or whatever. A couple more years, maybe. I'll hopefully get it to the point where I can have people like Raanan Hershberg on my show when he's doing Dallas dates, dude. That'd be so sick to have comedians on. What's funny too is, much like I was saying earlier, I started doing There Are Too Many Movies. Wonderful, wonderful Dallas-based movie podcast show. Highly encourage you to check them out if you have not. They invited me. I connected with them through their Discord. They invited me on the show. Been on 3 times, I think. But they have legit comedians on now. They've been doing the podcast for 6 years or something like that. And they have real comedians on the show. And they have like, they get invited to shit. They get sent shit. Movie studios will send them like press kits. Like they're like really for real doing it for real. And I know them in real life, which is, yeah, very cool. But it's funny because they are like, God damn it, when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna fucking happen, dude? We've been grinding for so long. Like, what they mean, I know what they mean. What they mean is like they want like this. They want it to be their job. They want the show to eventually make enough money so that they can all quit and do it full time. But you have to support three fucking incomes. It's tough. So it's gonna be some time. But anyway, in my opinion, they have made it. They did it. Look, you guys had Lisa Traeger on, bruh. So anyway, I'm excited for the growth of my own show, hopefully at some point, and eventual having of Raanan Hershberg on the show. He's my white whale. I wouldn't say he's a white whale. He's more of like he's a sturdily sized trout. You know? Where it'd take a minute to reel him in, and he'd have to be really enticed by the bait. But I could get him. He's no Moby Dick. But he's, not for nothing, that trout's gonna be fucking delicious, and I'm a big fan of trout. I'm very impressed with Trout's work and output. Trout has been doing great work. Shout out to you, Raanan Hershberg. God love you. The Slop Nation loves you. Spirit Airlines sloppers. Spirit Airlines is no more. Did you guys hear about this? At 3:02 a.m. or whatever time it was, they declared bankruptcy, and every Spirit airline that was currently every Spirit plane that was currently fucking in the air, immediately they shut the engines off and they all crashed into the earth. It was casualty toll was in the tens of thousands from what I understand, but they were all poor people, so no one really cares. No one really cares. Like we're sad, right? We are, I guess, theoretically sad, but they were the ones that chose to fly fucking Spirit. You know what I mean? They made that choice. They know that Spirit's horrible. They know that, like, they're gonna have a horrible experience. Like, you can get, bro, and it's not even that much cheaper than fucking Delta. It's just not. They nickel and dime you with the bag prices, and the pretzels cost $1 or whatever bullshit. Everything costs money, and you feel like a bucket of shit. You're uncomfortable. You're smelly. Customer service is leaves a lot to be desired. Everything sucks about Spirit, and everyone knows that it sucks, but people are still just cutting costs wherever possible. And at a certain point, you think you would, if you had any sort of self-respect, you'd splurge a little bit to get the Delta flight. And by splurge, it's like, bro, it's like an extra $50 to $100. Which is not nothing, don't get me wrong, but you can fucking afford it, bro. To not go through that misery, it might look like more of a difference on paper, but I promise it's not. When all is said and done with all the hidden fees and bullshit, it's going to be like you're going to have to save $50 on your flight to Florida, and you will be mentally exhausted. You'll be horribly, horribly out of breath. They don't get the oxygenation right in the cabin at Spirit. You got a headache. The $2 pretzels are dry, stale, expired. The flight attendant is a straight man. Can you imagine? I certainly can't, because I don't fucking fly Spirit. Yeah, so I wouldn't wish that hell upon anyone, but you did choose it. It was a hell of your own making. And it is your own fault that you were in the plane when it crashed into the earth at 3:02 a.m. when Spirit declared bankruptcy. It's your own fault, bruh. You should have been on Delta. There's so many better options. You fucked it. You fucked the pooch on that one, dude. So, shouts out to the tens of thousands of people that died all at once in the same instant. It was like a Thanos snap. It was a Thanos snap that single-handedly raised the poverty line by like 0.04%. In an instant, the median general income was increased by $14,000 in 1 second. Not to mention all the people that were about to get on. All those people are just not going to go to where they were going to go, which means they have to continue being poor at their homes, which is like bad for the economy. Or is it good? Do you want to quarantine the poors? Or do you want the poors flying around, spreading their poor wares everywhere they go? I don't know. I never flew Spirit. I was about to say I'm not above it, but I am absolutely above it. I'm 100% above it. And I truly have no sympathy for the company. They were conniving, backstabbing, penny pinching pieces of shit. And I'm glad they're gone. Who will pick up the slack though? I did see some stories that, like, I don't know if it was Delta or the other one. I can't think of a goddamn third airline. Spirit, Delta. It was not American. Alaska? I think it was Alaska. Alaska, because Spirit did, unironically, fucking declare bankruptcy when planes were in the air. They did not crash them into the earth, but they landed them, and they remained straight, like they were done there. Like if you had a connection flight or something, they were like, well, sorry guys, but we're no longer in business as an airline. The airline is now shut down. Therefore, go fuck yourself. Good luck. Bye. Like, I'm not an employee here anymore. You understand? I have cashed my last check. I will be actually fighting for my last $2,400 that they have not paid me yet. in court because they're bankrupt. I will likely not be getting paid for any of the last week and a half of my job. And I don't feel too keen on flying you fuckers to South Dakota. So get the fuck out of my goddamn airplane. Actually, just kidding. It's not even my airplane, but get the fuck out. And I will go to the employment line. I'll go to the soup kitchen, and you guys can start begging for change for a drive home. Or just go flood the other airlines with a gigantic line of people that need help. All right, I'm going to put this in the episode for sure. This is, like, frankly astonishing. Like, the statement they put out declaring bankruptcy, like Michael Scott on Twitter, it's like, are we for real, right? Are we being really for real right now? It's a JPEG image of this statement. It is with great disappointment that Spirit Airlines has started winding down its global operations effective immediately. All flights have been canceled and customer service is no longer available. While we are not able to help rebook your flight on another airline, we will automatically process refunds for any flights purchased through Spirit with a credit or debit card for the original form of payment. We are proud of the impact to our ultra low-cost model to the industry for the last 33 years and have hoped to serve our guests for many years to come. For more information on the wind down process, please visit this unclickable link because this is a JPEG image. So 2 things, yeah, and then a period after the fucking link. Someone typed this out in 8 seconds. It's a screenshot. There's while we are not able to is underlined, like with a dotted line in Microsoft Word that you get when you can phrase a thing better. They're like, hey, this could be shortened. Like this. They just fucking. They screenshotted a Word document, bruh. They didn't even bother to take that out. There's no. Brother. There's no, like, hyperlink. I mean, it's extremely indicative of their entire thing, their whole brand. Why try to save face now, I guess? You have no face to save. Do you guys remember the court hearing? The CEO of Spirit had to go face his crimes in a court of law? That was years ago. Post-COVID, but definitely a couple years ago. I don't remember what the thing was, but the judge or whoever, the guy grilling him, was like, you do realize that everyone hates your fucking airline, right? That people think you're a joke, and they make fun of you all the time because of how much your airline sucks ass. Everyone hates you. You should kill yourself. And he's like, it's rough. So yeah, good riddance. I just truly don't have much sympathy for people that got stranded. Fucking hell. You should have not done that. You should have not chosen Spirit. Next time, don't choose the absolute bare cheapest option. Bro, you go one above the cheapest option. Always. With it, literally anything. You don't ever go cheapest because they're going to fuck you over. It's going to be a horrible, horrible experience. And the thing's going to break in a day. You go one above the cheapest. Medium. Even lower mid is fine. Not cheapest. Never cheapest. What's the fallacy with the boot? That poor fuckers are going to end up spending more money over the life cycle of their boots because they're buying 5 goddamn pairs of them. Whereas if you buy one really sturdy pair at the beginning, it's going to last you for 10 years or longer. But you can't afford that at the time, so the poor get poorer and the rich get richer, whatever. It's not their fault, I guess. Spirit is their fault. Fuck you. Spirit for sure is their fault. The boots thing, I'll give you. But don't ever fucking come on. Do not fly Spirit. Well, you Good news, you don't need to ever worry about this ever again. Because they are out of business. It is pretty crazy that they're gone. What's like the equivalent? They were the punching bag and the go-to example of like a shithole, horrible company for so long. Like, who is there another equivalent? Who are we gonna make fun of now? Everything was the Spirit Airlines of X. Now Spirit's gone. Who are we gonna throw under the rug? Throw under the bus? I actually think there's no one. You guys hear that car alarm out there? We gotta barrel through it, brother. This is too. What am I? I'm in the fucking flow state, dude. I can't. What am I gonna not stop? What am I gonna stop talking for 2 seconds while the guy fixes his car alarm? Can't be done. Yeah. So I don't know what the fuck I was talking. Oh yeah. Is there anyone else? Is there any other company that's on this level? This level of dog shit? I don't know. It's hard to pick one or point. I can't think of one off the top of my head. If you guys have any thoughts on this, what's the new Spirit Airlines? It can be any industry for like a nationally known shitbag awful company. Where they fucking gouge your ass. It's a horrible product. Everyone hates it. They use it because they advertise themselves as cheap, but it's actually not as cheap as it looks like because they're nickel and diming you for everything. It's the worst, scummiest, worst model of business ever. And they are a horrible, horrible, horrible company. And I wish them nothing but the worst. Good luck in bankruptcy court, brother. Sloppers. Anything else? I think we should just take it out. This we can leave while this car alarm is going off. It'd be kind of a nice send off. Oh, the car alarm turned off. That's okay. Slops, wish me luck. You know, this is my last day as a free man. My last day before my shit's wired shut, brother. It's not really actually wired shut. That is everyone's first question, and rightfully so, because they used to do that for years. They used to wire your shit shut. They don't do that anymore because too many people vomited into their closed mouths and suffocated on their own vomit and died. So they're like, maybe we don't do that shit anymore. How about we just wire your braces in the back? So when you sleep and stuff, your shit kind of like stays where it's at, but you can open your mouth to talk and eat. So maybe I'll be able to pod, bro. Maybe we'll go through the wire. I'm not sure. We'll see. In the meantime, Sloppers, God love you. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate it. I will do my best to get you an episode out in 7 days' time.